We're going to end the year with a conversation about veterans benefits. And joining us now is the Marshfield Director of Veteran Services, Carin Paulette, and Assistant Director of Veteran Services, Lisa Potts. Ladies, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Happy New Year.
So, what do you believe is the most important message to get out to veterans as we close out the year?
Well, I think that it's extremely important that a veteran or a spouse of a veteran or surviving spouse of a veteran, that they just reach out to their local veteran service office or even the DAV or the VFW, whatever, whoever is in their area, just to find out what their eligibility is for benefits. Many of them just don't realize what is out there for them.
And there are many benefits that and the families may be eligible. What do you think is most commonly missed benefit?
I think surviving spouse benefits are huge, but there's also VA healthcare, eligibility for compensation, and again, the compensation benefit extends right out to the surviving spouse.
Yeah.
So it's most important that those spouses come and ask questions just to make sure that they're all set.
Yeah, and I think your typical, say a typical veteran who maybe doesn't have a disability, so they think they're not entitled to VA healthcare, could actually be entitled, and that's free healthcare. There is no premium to use VA health, and they can get a lot of benefits out of that and save a lot of money for their family.
Now, one of the big stories this year was the PACT Act, and what effect has that had?
So the PACT Act expanded a lot of eligibility to different healthcare and compensation ailments, which also expands, again, to the surviving spouse, to benefits for them. It talked a lot about,
expanded the locations for Vietnam,
right.
And added a lot of illnesses and things that happen to the OIF, OEF, the newer generation of veterans. So what we're finding out is that some of these disabilities that VA has considered a presumptive, meaning that this disability, if you have it, you don't have to prove that it's from service. VA is just going to own it. And even if your veteran has passed away, if one of those benefits were eligible to him, that means that that spouse can get some benefits, and those benefits can be really, really impactful, like a full tax exemption off their real estate. It could be free health care, which is federally funded, and it's just as good as every other health care. So there is a lot out there, and it's really impossible, I think, for your everyday veteran or spouse without knowledge of this to even know what they could be eligible for. It's really, really important to make that call.
Ask that question.
Now, we've been talking about veterans service officers, and obviously we think they're very important here. But why do you think it's important for veterans and surviving spouses to reach out? What can the veteran service officer or veterans agent, depending on the town you're in, do?
Well, like Carin just said, there's so many benefits, Dan, and nobody travels the same path. There's so many different avenues for each veteran, spouse, surviving spouse to follow. So if you don't ask the question, you don't get the answer. And there's so many questions.
Yeah, and I think it's nice to just have someone that you can go to that really can cover all your needs in one place and be there for you. So, as just someone for local support, and knowing that that person's going to be there to help you navigate all that. It's sometimes more important than when you're actually giving them.
Daunting.
It's just having somebody there means everything.
And so support, but as you said, some of these programs is navigating a system which maybe people don't understand. They can be intimidated by that.
Right.
And one of the things I've also heard about veterans when it comes to benefits is they always feel reluctant to take these benefits. That's very common with veterans.
Always. And we say those benefits are there for you. If you don't take them, they're not getting slid over to your friend Joe. They're just not being used, and that money and whatever is intended for you gets used for other things. You're not taking from anybody. There is enough for everybody. So take your benefits, and if not for you, do it for your family.
Right.
Because that's how everything is linked together.
Alrighty. Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it right there. But thank you so much for speaking with us, and I wish you both the best in the new year.
Thank you. You as well.